Good to have you with us today. I'm Pastor Krause, coming to you from Christ Lutheran Church in Pewaukee, Wisconsin. We're going to be looking at a section of the Word of God that was typically spoken about, preached on, in our church and in other churches, Christian churches around America and the world. It is a famous story, the story of the Transfiguration. We're going to read the account that's given in Matthew chapter 17, verses 1 to 9. Here's what we read there. After 6 days, Jesus took with him Peter, James, and John, the brother of James, and led them up on a high mountain by themselves. There he was transfigured before them. His face shone like the sun, and his clothes became as white as the light. Just then there appeared before them Moses and Elijah talking with Jesus. Peter said to Jesus, "Lord, it is good for us to be here. If you wish, I will put up 3 shelters, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." While he was still speaking, a bright cloud covered them, and a voice from the cloud said, "This is my Son, whom I love. With him I am well pleased. Listen to him." When the disciples heard this, they fell face down to the ground, terrified. But Jesus came and touched them. "Get up," he said. "Don't be afraid." When they looked up, they saw no one except Jesus. As they were coming down the mountain, Jesus instructed them, "Don't tell anyone what you have seen until the Son of Man has been raised from the dead." This is a famous story, but I think we might ask the question, why? What a strange story. Jesus and those disciples close to him especially go up on that high mountain, and there Jesus is transfigured before them. He becomes whiter than white. He is there, and different speakers are with him, Moses and Elijah, and they get this great sight. And then Peter says, "Boy, we want this to continue. This is great. Let's build 3 shelters, one for you, one for Moses, one for Elijah. Let's continue with this this beautiful thing that we are experiencing." Years ago, I had the opportunity to climb. There's a few different ideas where the Mount of Transfiguration is, but I climbed this Mount of Transfiguration, and let me tell you, there were no chapels there for Moses, for Elijah, for Jesus. No, there was nothing there. Maybe something has gone up since, but rather a daft thing that Peter said. They saw the glory of Jesus Christ. He was transfigured before them. And then soon enough, they were going down the mountain. Where were they going to? Well, that place off in a distance that they could see there from the Mount of Transfiguration. They were going to go down to Jerusalem, and for Jesus it would be the last time. Those disciples were going to see some horrific things. Those disciples were going to desert Jesus, deny Jesus, run away. They're going to see Jesus crucified. They're going to wonder what this was all about, all this time they spent with Jesus. And then obviously there was the resurrection. Jesus Christ rose from the dead. But right now in this transformation, they are being prepared for the greater road ahead of them. Just like at this time of the year, we're going to be looking again at the life of Jesus, consider our own sins, our own waywardness. We're going to consider, though, in a greater way what Jesus has done for us. We're going to take another look at how much he loved us as he goes to Jerusalem to suffer and die, and most importantly, eventually to rise again. May the Lord bless us on our journey during this coming season of Lent.